Well, it's about 4:15 and I've been woken up by the sound of fishermen loading the trawlers and seagulls. I literally did wake up about 5 minutes ago. Now, I can't hear it raining, which is a bonus. I can't hear the wind either, which is odd because we've got Storm Ellen. Oh, excuse a slightly scary Mary look. Had a 4.5-hour drive up, 4-hour drive up here last night, straight after work. So I'm feeling a little bit tired. But I shall have a brew and go out and see what the morning brings. Well, I rocked up here last night in the dark. Never a good thing to do when it's a location you haven't been to before. I'm telling you slightly, I have been here, but only for a quick mosey round during the day, and I don't really remember it. We had some gorgeous colour, and I think I missed the best of it, which is really frustrating. I might come here on the way home. I'm at Eyemouth, and we have some beautiful rocks, and some quite tasty clouds. But trying to get to said rocks is fairly difficult. On Google Maps, down to my left, I'd seen some really nice rock formations that would have lent themselves really well to minimal. But having got here, you can probably just see it's huge boulders to get out, and I have a feeling that's break a leg territory. So I figured better not. So I came for a wander. Excuse me, I'm so out of breath. Whew. I wandered along the cliff top to see if I could get down anywhere, and this was the only place I could really see without risking life and limb that I could make it to. Now, all the rocks are facing out kind of directly into the sun. Not my favourite occupation. So I've come down into a bit of a gully. Entirely sure how I got here. Even less sure how I'm going to get back. We're on a high tide. It's 5:23, I think, the high tide, so I know I'm safe. We're at about 5:30 now, so I'm fine. I'm not at any risk. And I've kind of got the rock coming up to the right, some rocks here, and some swirly water action, although I have got the 6 stop on. I'm finding it a little bit hard to expose for, simply because I'm shooting into the sun. The sun is coming up above these rocks here, as you can see. So I'm getting a bit blown out. I really should bracket, but I think it's rescuable in post. So not the best start to the day. Whew. But it's a lovely spot. And yesterday was Storm Ellen. It's a lot calmer than I expected, although the wind is coming across country. So I figured I would be fairly sheltered, and I'm quite low down, although as you can see from my hair blowing around, still a bit breezy, but nothing bad. Right, now the best of the colour's gone, I'm going to pack up and see if I can figure out I'm going to get back up without breaking a neck. Oh, there's a fisherman wandering down there. And it's only little rocks at the top, but then it gets to quite big ones. Maybe I'll go have a look. Well, I kind of thought about putting my big girl's pants on and coming down to the water's edge over the big rocks. But I've got so far and decided it's really not worth it. But I've just seen a seal. Now I'm going to try and zoom in to show you, but he's just sat out in the water basking. So the video quality is going to get really, really bad, because when you zoomed in, that's what happens. But I'll flip you around and you can see him. There you go. Just there, look. He's just bobbing around, having a bit of an early morning sunbathe. Oops. He seems to be on his own. What a lovely way to spend a morning. Sunshine, blue skies, and And a seal in the water. Well, I thought I'd come and have a little wander around the harbour, see if I could find anything. And you'll not make him out yet, but just there is the seal again. He obviously knows where there's a meal to be had. There's a couple of boats gone out, but the thing that caught my eye, I can't see through my hair, is that. So I've broken out the 70 to 200. I'm zoomed quite close in on it. There's going to be a little bit of cloning work to do with the harbour wall on that side. It's just encroaching slightly. I just want that on its own. Obviously it's a long exposure. There's a little bit of a reflection. The water is relatively calm, although you can see here it's slightly rippled. And I'm going to pop the 17 to 55 on in a second, just see if I can capture some really abstract, because this water looks like oil again. It's very strange. And if there weren't all those cars and wagons parked there, that would make a really nice shot on its own. Anyway, I digress. Yes, I've got the 70 to 200 on. I am out at 200 mil. As I say, zoomed really close in on it to try and isolate it. You can still see the rocks, the cliff face. Where are we? There. You can still see that bit, which I'm not too worried about. But I like that on its own. And it was a case of figuring out where I needed to stand to get the cleanest shot possible. So as I say, I'm at 200 mil. I am on F14, 30 seconds. I have the 6-stop, 0.6 medium grad. And yes, I quite like that. But it's quite difficult to get images in isolation, because obviously being a working harbour, it's quite busy. There's some huge boats in here as well. Some kind of dredging machine there from the looks of it. And I'm parked right next to the RNLI lifeboat. Well, it's a lovely little harbour. The other thing to mention is with the 70 to 200, obviously that's got inbuilt image stabilisation, which you turn off when you're on tripod, because otherwise it's still trying to correct any motion in the tripod or any motion in the camera, and there isn't any. So the motor's working and that will cause vibrations, which gives you a soft image. So turn it off. I'm still here, and I've been just faffing around taking some abstract shots of these reflections, and I saw some seals coming back in through the harbour mouth, and then I just turned. I don't think you'll make it. I'll turn around and zoom in on this. Hang on a second. So the picture quality is going to get really bad, but just over there, I don't know if you can make him out. There's that oofing great. I'm presuming it's a male seal. Feeling a bit lazy and sleeping on a plastic floating buoy. And then just to his right, there you go, there's a heron. Fabulous. And that seal is taking no notice of anything whatsoever. And there's another one over here still, but you can't see him anymore, and you can just see down there another one sort of hanging around at the harbour mouth. I think that's fabulous. It's like the height of laziness. Perhaps that's like 3-star accommodation for a seal. And he's an oofing great fella. But what a smarty pants. Oh, he's never gonna. Oh, I thought he was gonna land on him. Now, I'm no wildlife photographer, so there was no way I was ever gonna try and capture him in flight. I think that's brilliant. How awesome is that?